Good morning. This is Saturday morning. We're having donuts with our elected officials, so make sure that you put this on the table. I got an application with the Open Society Institute of Baltimore for the 2019 fellowship application. And my application is going to be about race and racism in Maryland politics. It's going to be about race and racism in the courts. It's going to be about Scott Shellenberger. It's going to be about Greg Bernstein. It's going to be about the Democratic Party. And since this delegate got jammed up, we're going to have a good conversation. Because I've been doing this since 2006. It's called the Get Shorty program. It's been a viable program in Baltimore City and Baltimore County. And it works. Like I said, I got my film together. And my application is going to be called I Am Dred Scott. We're going to show you courts and the court system. We're going to show you race and racism and the laws that affect our communities. It's the Open Society Open Society Institute of Baltimore. This is just my videotape application. I'm going to talk about Maryland politics. Like I said, I've been doing this for a long time. These are some of the other people that won their fellowship already. That got a fellowship. Alright. So this is Johnny Oleski. Alright, because like I said, I had to reshoot all the footage that was taken from me in 2011. So this is Johnny Oleski, and it says, U.S. Attorney, Department of Justice, 36 South Charles Street, February 28, 2019. Dearest Assistant Attorney, I am writing this in reference to Dwayne Shorty Davis. I have met with Mr. Davis several times over the past year. He expressed his concern about a number of issues that could fall under your preview. All right, I'm requesting that you and your staff take another look at this case, and if there's any warrant additional attention, I committed to Mr. Davis that I would at least request the assistance and understanding of the concerns and the raises outside the scope and preview of Baltimore County Government. That's about Scott Shellenberger, blowing the whistle on Scott Shellenberger because I was kidnapped. I am Dred Scott. I was kidnapped by the state. On February the 2nd, I turned myself into Greg Bernstein because I turned in Scott Shellenberger. Mayor Pugh knew about it too. All right. It was about the Democratic Party and Governor O'Malley's machine. Like I said, see that? That's 2018. That's 2013. That's 2013. That's the chief of police because I was kidnapped by Scott Shellenberger and the chief of police and charged with terrorism. You feel me? Racism in your courts. That's Al Redmer. Because like I said, I was insured. My truck was insured. My property was insured. The contents of the truck was insured. And the contents of that truck was exposing Governor O'Malley and the racism in the Democratic Party. You feel me? See the date? 2013. Everybody got this. It's 2019. So this is what you would call 2018. That's a year ago. 4/4 April. You feel me? So Miss Pugh, that's why you don't say nothing in public. When I say that he said that he's going to go after dirty cops, well, we're going to have to go after dirty politicians too. Because like I said, this fellowship application, I'm going to make a movie out of it. And the movie is going to be about, and like I said, the fellowship application said it goes to the Department of Justice. The Department of Justice had this since Mayor Pugh had it. See the dates? Y'all got it over a year ago. So this letter is going to give validity to my conversation. It's also going to give validity to my application. You feel me? The fellowship award is about things that change the community and how you contribute to the community. Make that change. If we're going to make a change in the black community, we got to address the war on drugs. We got to address racism in the courts. And we got to address racism in the Democratic Party. Addressing the word nigga just ain't enough. We got to address the institution of racism in Baltimore City and Baltimore County politics. We got to address the racism and the institution of institutional racism in our courts and our prison industry. So I went to these individuals and I gave them a letter from Judge Bennett. So we don't have no misunderstandings about nothing I say or do. I'm looking for the fellowship And we talking about Baltimore City, Baltimore County courts, and we talk about racism in Baltimore County Police Department. Like I said, this is going to be done through social media because this is a social issue. Mayor Pugh, that's you. You feel me? Johnny Oleski, that's you. And that's us talking about race and racism. You feel me? That's Judge Bell and Doug Colbert from the University of Maryland. You feel me? And we're going to show racism in the media and the role that media plays in racism. Because if I catch y'all on the streets, like I said, talk to Johnny Oleski. He got my paperwork. Y'all is named in it. We're going to show you all aspects of racism. We're going to show you racism in the courts, racism in the media. We're going to show you racism in religion. We're going to show you race and racism. Because if you give me this fellowship, you get 18 months of watching me. Plus, you got 13 years of what I did before you started this. We're going to talk about race and racism in America. I am Dred Scott. Do blacks have rights in which white America respects? We're going to go to Waukegan, Illinois. And we're going to go to Baltimore City. Because Kamenetz already said what he going to do. That's the Department of Justice. My labors have not been fruitless. This is the door to open up Pandora's box. You feel me? And this is going to be my cover letter for my application.